Today I'm coming to Hebden Bridge. Like a lot of places in England over the past few weeks, it's suffered some terrible flooding. I'm going to meet with Mary Dhonau, the chair of the Flood Protection Association. She's going to give us some advice on what people can do to stop it flooding in the first place. But more importantly, she's going to talk about how people can cope with the devastating effects of these floods. Hi Mary, welcome to Hebden Bridge. Thanks for coming. Well, here we are. But it's really hard to imagine now, isn't it? But this street was literally knee-deep in water. It was going over the top of people's Wellingtons. You see the footage and you can't really imagine what it was like.
Well, I'll tell you something, I can imagine what it was like because I've seen so many floods. It's not only my own, but I've been to so many places that are flooding or post-flooding. People don't realise that, you know, flooding isn't just for when the ministers come or the media are here. It has such far-reaching consequences.
Hebden Bridge, people have a sense of humour here. The summer sale's been changed to a flood sale. We see more and more of these signs of businesses being closed, and you know, they're all trying to use really positive language.
Do you know, some of these premises seem to be, oh look, got flood protection, they've got homemade flood protection.
Ah, right, okay, so that's a better option than sandbags,
yeah,
is that what you're saying? Because this is what I was going to ask. If sandbags aren't the answer, what's the better solution?
Yes, well, that's the next best solution, that homemade one. But there's a lot of things on the market now that can prevent flood water from getting into the property. Best to look out for ones with a kite mark, because it means they've all been tested. It's a bit like when you're looking for a kettle or a toaster or something. You tend to look for the British Standard kite mark in front of the door. And if you're at an absolute fix, almost one of the best things you can do is go to your garden and fill it, you know, a supermarket bag with a load of clay.
If we come around here and have a look at this shop, I think this is a very, very nice jewellery shop. Only 3 weeks ago.
If you can see that this is all going to probably have to be ripped up and dried out and goodness knows what, if you filled it in with concrete, and you can actually get a good sort of tanking system to the bottom, and then have ceramic tiles on the floor. Come the next flood, you haven't got to rip all the floorboards up again.
So that's an interesting idea. It's not about trying to get the water away, it's almost accepting that the water's going to come in.
But it's going to do as little damage as possible. And there are a lot of tanking specialists out there who could come in and make this place sort of far more flood resilient. We're getting a lot changing weather patterns now, where we're getting a load of water dumped in localised areas, like monsoon-like storms, and literally it's falling hard onto all the hard surfaces that we have put down as a society, not only individuals but councils, etc. And it's got nowhere to go, and then it goes into the drains. The drains can't cope, so the next port of call is people's homes. There's a lot out there now using permeable paving, for instance. So they don't have to look ugly. They're just as nice as the stuff that we've all got down on our drives, but you can see the water soaking through into the ground where it naturally should go when it's raining, not into people's homes.
It was only 10 days later that they suffered the second really devastating effects. I think that was caused for rather different reasons. Instead of the rivers rising, the water was pouring down these side streets and in through there as well, all meeting up at the same point.
Really.
Overland runoff.
Yep, absolutely. Sheer volumes of water coming down, hitting the hill at the top and, you know, cascading down.
Because the land's already been saturated.
Yeah, it's absolutely devastating.
I'm getting taken out by a boulder here, really. It's a bit dodgy, actually. I need to get out of the way.
So we've had a look around Hebden Bridge, we've seen some of the effects and we've seen some of the ways people have coped with it. If you could sum it up in maybe 3 top points, what are the 3 things, Mary, that you'd give people to take away that might help them to cope with flooding generally?
First of all, find out if you're at risk of flooding, really important. If you've got something like a river in front of your house and you're eligible for an Environment Agency flood warning, sign up for a free flood warning. It will give you your alert on your mobile phone, your landline, email, etc. Very important. It will give you time to prepare. Then think about what you're going to do if you get that flood warning. Where you're going to put grandma on a Zimmer frame, where are you going to put your car, your small children, where are you going to put your sentimental items, all the things that you can't replace with flood insurance. Think about protecting your property. You can go onto the Flood Protection Association website and look for a kite marked flood protection product that can in many cases keep the flood water out. If you can't keep the flood water out, think about how you can adapt your home to being flooded so that when the flood water comes in, that the minimal of damage is done and you can recover and move back downstairs quickly as possible. And also think about lobbying your local authority to think about sustainable landscaping. Let's not just hard pave over absolutely everywhere.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
That was more than 3.